But first, I'd like to introduce you to Ian Wallace, who's a dream analyst and author of books like The Complete A to Z Dictionary of Dreams, Be Your Own Dream Expert. Ian, a pleasure to have you back on the programme.
It's always a pleasure to work with you, Dean, and have a bit of a chat about dreams with you and your listeners.
Now, I follow you on Twitter, and I've noticed you've become a bit of a jet setter, haven't you? Mixing with the stars.
Yes, I have to say a lot of my clients are in the public eye. I can't say anything more about that. Let's be very discreet.
Yeah.
But one of the things that happens, and with your help, Dean, and with other people's help, just getting the working with dreams out more into the public eye, into the public awareness, making people far more comfortable with their dreams, rather than maybe being scared or apprehensive of them. And as we do that, as we work with dreams, we start to see dream imagery appearing all around us in waking life. So I've been doing quite a lot of work for promotional work and media work, like in London Fashion Week. A couple of weeks' time from now, I'll be helping Stephen King launch his new book, The Bazaar of Bad Dreams.
Check you out, Stephen King.
Stephen King, yes.
Wow.
So, and it's lovely to have that, rather than having all those old superstitions and folklore about dreams, or that really kind of dry scientific approach, to have that really positive, healthy, alive approach to working with dreams and really making them work for you in waking life.
Because what we need to make absolutely clear here is, and what Ian does, is he will take a description of your dreams and he will tell you, well, it can go a number of ways. Ian can help you with just come to terms with a dream, or help you sort of set your mind at rest. But what this definitely is not is a way of predicting the future, right?
Yeah, there are two schools of working with dreams, Dean. One is the one that's been around for thousands of years, and that's the old kind of psychic, spiritual way that's all woo. And if you dream of a dog, then don't go to the market fair a week on Thursday because a gypsy will give you a hard time. And it's just utter nonsense. And the other one is the more scientific one, which has a lot of validity, but it's usually done in a very, very dry way, where people are trying to guess what's happening inside your brain, and they treat your brain like a computer and all those things. So they never actually connect with the dream, and those are both outside-in approaches. They're trying to guess what's happening inside your brain. And the way that I work and the way that we work together, Dean, is to actually do it from the inside out, where we see what's happening in someone's dream, we listen to the language and the imagery, and then we connect that to situations in their waking life, where they can use those insights from their dream as a way of solving problems and meeting challenges and realising ambitions.
And over the months and years now, actually, we've had a number of people who've been very badly troubled by dreams that they've been having, fearing them, actually. And what you've been able to do in a very, very effective way, Ian, is to put their mind at rest about these dreams. And I do get emails to this day from people who say, thank you, because it stopped the dream. I didn't like the dream and now it's gone away.
Yes, and that's, again, one of the things, actually working with the dream and connecting with the dream, rather than just observing it and theorising about it and making up stories about it, actually connecting with the imagery in the dream, then, because we have to remember there's a huge misconception that dreams happen to you, like you lie there like some sort of psychic receiver and you're picking up messages from the ether. That's nonsense. It actually has been neurologically proven that you create your dreams and you create everything in the dreams, all the people, all the animals, all the places, events and objects. So, and the reason that you create the dreams is that you are using them as a way of processing lots of information that you unconsciously absorb during the day. And some of that can be quite challenging for you. So the parts of your brain that are active when you're dreaming are very interesting, because they have to do with need fulfillment, story creation, and deep emotion. So when you create a dream, you're looking at how to fulfill a need in waking life, and you create a story in your dream. You explore different scenarios, how you can do that. And usually, whatever need you're trying to fulfill in your life, you are experiencing emotional tension as you try and fulfill that need. So what you do in your dream is create a story that helps you to understand how to navigate those emotional tensions so you can fulfill your ambitions and actually fulfill your dreams in waking life.
OK, we're getting emails through now, which I'll put some of those to you. Well, I prefer it on the phones, though, to be honest. If you could call 0370 143 1333, the number to dial. And as you've heard, Ian is very sensitive and also very discreet, so you're not going to be embarrassed in any way, shape or form by what Ian says. He's the master of this. He's an expert. He's world-renowned. So 0370 143 1333 is the number to dial. Ian, I'm going to play some music. We're back with you after Paul Young, and hopefully we've got them through already on text and email, but I'd like a phone call as well, if that's okay. So, Ian, back with you in 2 minutes.
Okay, Dean, thank you.
So let's get straight to the dreams then. Kerry's been on. Kerry's listening in Lincoln City Centre tonight. And Ian, Kerry has a dream, a recurring dream, she says, in which she's sitting on a rocky seashore with waves lapping up. And although she says the tide doesn't feel as though it's coming in, it does feel as though suddenly a wave is going to engulf her and carry her out. And it becomes quite frightening. She stands up to run away and then wakes up. So waves.
Yes, so this is actually although it sounds quite unusual, it's actually the 19th most common dream that Kerry's having.
Wow.
Just being on a seashore and a wave building up or a wave coming in. So as we've been saying, the way that we work with dreams is to work with language and imagery. And anything to do with water, particularly the sea, is to do with emotions and feelings. So we have all these idioms and metaphors around water, like a surge of elation, ebbing enthusiasm, pouring my heart out, floods of tears. Anything to do with water is to do with feelings.
Yes.
And like our feelings, water's got its own rhythms and flows. That's why, as Kerry is on the seashore there, she can see the tide doesn't seem to be coming any higher, but she can see the waves lapping in and lapping out. So there's something happening in Kerry's life where she is in a place where she feels quite certain and quite confident. She's on solid ground in waking life. That's why she's on the rocky seashore. But there might be something in that solid ground that's a little bit of a rocky time for her. There might be something she's a bit unsure about. It's probably not anything huge. It's maybe just some little thing that she is thinking about or challenged by. So she feels quite comfortable and secure where she is. And when she's looking at the waves, there's some emotion building up for her. And she's concerned that she will become engulfed by her emotions, that her emotions will become uncontrollable some way. And that's why she's worried that the wave will come in and sweep her away. So as we know, a dream is just a dream until you put it into action. So the action from this dream for Kerry is, instead of trying to worry about being engulfed by her emotions and trying to keep them at arm's length, rather than avoiding them, it's far better for her to navigate her way through them and actually change her situation rather than just trying to accept it. So rather than immersing herself in emotions that might get out of control, just try standing back a little bit on that rocky seashore where she is really solid and comfortable and secure. Just try standing back and observing where she is and thinking about what's happening to her in her emotional life and how she can channel those emotions and actually use them as a really positive and healthy force. Because she might be trying to resist some change, but deep down she knows she has the power to really channel her emotions and make the positive, healthy change she wants to in her waking life.
Fascinating as always, Ian. I'm going to go to the phones now. Dave is in his taxi there. Hello, Dave.
Good evening, Dean.
How are you?
I'm very well, thank you.
Good. Do say hello to Ian.
Good evening, Ian.
Hey, Dave, how are you? Good to speak with you.
Yes, and you, sir. I'm looking forward to seeing what you make of my dream.
And would you like to share it with us, Dave?
Well, it's a dream I've never had before, and it only happened within the last couple of weeks, and it's a one-off.
Uh-huh.
But I found myself inexplicably, I don't know how I arrived there, what went off preceding this particular moment, but I was in a huge steel room or metal room with no windows, no doors, and a terrible feeling of dread and foreboding. And I thought, oh my God, this is the end, you know. And there was no way out. And for some reason, I've never had it before. I hope I don't have it again. Can't think what led up to it, but there I was, suddenly enclosed in this massive vault.
Did this seem to go on for very long, Dave?
Only, not particularly. I woke up with quite a jolt suddenly and realised, oh, thank God that was over.
It's often the way, isn't it, I guess, really?
Yeah.
Ian, do you recognise this?
Yes.
You're going to tell me it's the fifth most common dream.
No, I have to say, Dave, you are very special here. I'm not just saying that because you're on the radio, but it's not in the top 100 dreams. It's maybe in the top 1,000, but certainly not in the top 100. But one of the things that we do, as we've been saying, working with dreams, is to work with the language and imagery. So any time that you dream of a room, Dave, then you're dreaming of an aspect of your own character. And the most common dream symbol is the house, because houses have got insides and outsides, and so do we. And that's why we use a house to represent ourselves. And all the rooms in the house represent different aspects of our character. So when you create this dream, Dave, of this huge steel metal room, what steel, what metal represents is something that's really powerful. It's something really solid that you can take action with. So there's some aspect of yourself, Dave, and it might be an undeveloped aspect, some part of your character where you have a steely resolve, something that's really, really powerful for you and allows you to move ahead and take actions and take really powerful actions. Now, in the room, you've got that feeling of foreboding because there are no windows, no doors. It seems to be no way out. So you've got this tremendous steely resolve, this ability to make things happen. But the challenge you're having just now, Dave, is connecting that to something in your waking life. And what a vault represents, you used the word vault there. A vault is a situation where you can open up to some of the deeper resources that you often conceal. So you can unlock your underlying potential. And it might not be a huge thing, Dave, in your waking life, but what you're telling yourself in your dream is that you have got this really, really strong part of you. That's what most steel rooms are. They're strong rooms. You've got this really strong part of you. It's really secure, and you can do a lot with it in your waking life. And the action from the dream is that you need to look at ways of connecting it to your waking life. What doors can you open in your waking life to use whatever talents and skills you have, that power and strength? A window is usually about your perspective. How can you change your perspective in waking life to look at opportunities to use that power that you maybe sometimes conceal from other people?
But there were no windows, right, Dave, in yours?
No way out. It was completely black.
Right.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying, Dave, is that you need to connect it in waking life. So the way that you'd connect it in waking life is to actually, in your dream, to take the information from your dream. There are no windows or doors there, so you need to put some in, and those are connections.
So, in a way, if I understand what you're saying, and I don't want to put words into your mouth, I certainly would never want to do that, but it's almost like Dave is in one particular sphere of his life and could be looking out at, branching out, if you like, really. Is that...
It may be, and you will know, Dave, but there's something where rather than hiding some talent or ambition or ability away, where it's not connected to the outside world, you need to look at ways of connecting it or changing some perspective that you have so you can actually use that power in some way.
Dave, is this making any sense?
Well, I'm 62 years old now. I'm getting a bit long in the tooth to be making big life-changing decisions.
It's never too late, Dave.
Dale, you know. And,
it's never too late.
Looking forward to retiring before long, so I'm not exactly falling over to change my life's direction. But
yeah, so I was saying, Dave,
but
I was saying that it's maybe not a big change in your life, and it might be something about retirement, but it's far more. It's something to do where you've got some power that you need to use, and you haven't been using it, maybe just because you're scared you're going to upset someone, or you feel it's unacceptable to other people, and you just kind of conceal that from other people. So a lot of the times with dreams, even though it's a really big, scary dream, it doesn't mean you have to make a huge change in your life. It's just some maybe quite minor thing that you can do that can make you feel a lot better, a lot more comfortable.
One just very, very quick thing, because we've got other people on the line. Ian, is this likely... I don't know whether you can answer this, but is this likely to happen again, do you think, now, or is it more than likely just to be a one-off?
I think what will happen, Dave, is because you said you didn't really remember what happened before the dream, but if you just pay attention to your dreams, the thing to be looking out for in your dream, Dave, is being in a room again, but this time there being a door there or a window, somewhere where you're making a connection between that power you have to something in the outside world. That's the next thing to look out for in your dream. And because we've spoken about it, Dave, the dream will evolve and you'll probably start to see openings in that room.
Well, that's interesting.
It's good to talk.
I've got other dreams, but I know you've got other people waiting.
Yeah, another time though, Dave. I'm sure Ian will... Well, I hope Ian will be back with us another time.
Yeah.
How is it in the taxis tonight? Busy night?
Very quiet early on.
Is it? Okay.
I'm hoping it's going to kick off a bit now, yeah.
Okay, all right. Dave, it's wonderful to talk to you, my friend. You take good care.
Thank
They've
you,
all
Dave.
been listening to the
Bye-bye.
footy. Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye. Yes, that's true. Bye-bye. Right, Ian, brilliant stuff again. Can I ask you to stay for one more tune and maybe do a couple more for us on the other
Yes,
side of ABBA?
yeah,
Is
I'd
that
be
all right?
delighted to do that, Ian.
Thank you. If you're very quick, you might just nip in on the phones. Got lots on the emails tonight. I'd love you to phone, though. You could jump to the front of the queue by calling now. 0370 143 1333 if you'd like Ian to explain a dream that you've been having. It might just be a one-off, as Dave's there, or it might be one that's been recurring, or one maybe that troubled you from some years ago. It never came back, but for some reason it's hovering there in your mind. 0370 143 1333 is the number to dial. Let me say that again for you. It's 0370 143 1333. If you'd like to text, it's 81333, starting a message with the word Dean, or you can email. It's dean.jackson@bbc.co.uk. But as I always say when Ian is on, as soon as Ian goes, the lines are full of people wanting to know more about their dreams. And so please don't wait. Final couple of dreams to be looked at by Ian Wallace, who is a dream analyst and author of the Complete A to Z Dictionary of Your Dreams. Be your own dream expert. Stephen's been on, Ian, from Castle Donington, and he has recurring dreams. He says once a week or fortnight he dreams that he's really late for work and stuck in heavy traffic. And I have to say that I can relate to this one absolutely, because frequently I have one of these about getting to the radio station where I'm stuck in the car, traffic jam, and I can hear the previous programme ending and I fear that I'm not going to be there in time. So I can completely relate to Stephen's dream here.
Yes, this is the 10th most common dream that people have, being late. And one of the things that people often do with dreams in the way they interpret them is to try and interpret the dream as too literally. So if you dream of being late and you think, oh, I'm going to be late, or I must not be late, or I was doing an interview today about pregnancy dreams, and the interview was saying that surely pregnancy dreams are just all about women trying to get pregnant, and they're nothing to do at all. Dreams are usually not what they seem to be about. And what this being late dream is about is nothing about punctuality. It's about some opportunity for fulfillment in waking life. And when you create a dream of being late, you are trying to work out how to make the most of an opportunity that's emerging for you. And usually in any opportunity, there's a deadline, there's some sort of timetable, and you've set yourself a timetable to achieve a particular ambition by a certain time. And if you're not achieving that ambition, and you might be aware of it, you might be unconsciously aware of it, but if you've not achieved that ambition, then you'll create this being late dream. And what happens in the dream, the more that you try and rush to meet your appointment and get there, the more the opportunity seems to disappear.
Yes.
And a lot of the time in the dream, you spend your time in meaningless activity rather than actually taking action. And that's the key to this dream. The action from this dream is about committing to meaningful action in waking life rather than just involving yourself in busy and meaningful activity. Until you commit to a decision, you're always going to find yourself hesitating and using your time ineffectively. But when you commit to action, to definite action, you always find lots more opportunities opening up. Your decision's made, your direction's clear, and you can plan your progress.
Interesting.
And your time becomes your own rather than what's happening around you. So both for Stephen and for you, the action from the dream is to commit to some sort of decision. And it's maybe not a huge decision. It's like we were saying with Dave. It's maybe not a life-changing thing, but it's maybe a decision in waking life that you make a commitment and then you don't have to worry about that anymore.
Makes perfect sense. Perfect sense. Jill is in Thringston. Hello, Jill.
Hello, Dean.
Lovely to talk to you. Please say hello to Ian.
You. Hello, Ian.
Hey, Jill, how are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Good.
Shall I tell you about the dream?
Yes, please, go ahead,
please,
Jill.
yes.
It's a recurring dream. It's been happening probably only about 3 or 4 times a year, but for 10 years or more.
Wow.
And I am trying to climb down a cliff face.
Right.
And I am trying to get my feet so that I can go safely, and sometimes I have to go across before I can go down. And I'm just frightened, obviously, all the time of falling. And then what normally wakes me up is when I have let go and I'm falling.
Oh. So you experience that falling, and then just before you hit the floor,
That's
you
when
wake
I
up.
wake.
Right,
you
well,
know.
thank goodness.
Yes. I've never crashed to the floor
No,
yet.
no, I'm pleased to hear that.
But it is something that I have, been through for a long time.
Does it trouble you, Jill?
When I wake up from it, yes.
Yes.
But then I'll probably forget it because I think I've had that dream before. But
Yeah.
I'd be very interested if there is a meaning behind it, actually.
Yeah, there's always a meaning behind your dreams, Jill, even though
Yes.
they seem really weird and inconsequential
Yes,
and
yes.
full of giraffes made of custard and rowing boats. There's always a meaning there. So what you've actually got here, Jill, are the 12th most common dream, being on a cliff face.
Oh, really?
And the 7th most common dream. So you're doing a bit of a mash-up here between the 12th and the 7th. So anything, when you're on a cliff face, we're saying earlier on with Kerry's dream about being on a rocky seashore, there's something where you've got something that you can really hang on to, that you feel really secure, but you feel your position's maybe a little bit precarious. And it's maybe not like a big deal in waking life. There's just something in waking life, a particular situation that maybe happens 3 or 4 times a year that just makes you feel a little bit insecure. And you're just trying to cling on to what you know and trying to cling on to security. And you're trying to get down so that you can get down into level ground and everything's fine and stable again. And you don't have to be in this insecure place.
Yeah.
And the falling part, although the falling part sounds scary, the falling part is the best bit of the dream.
Right.
Because in a falling dream, it usually suggests, again, that there's some situation in your waking life that you're hanging on too tightly to, that you're trying to maybe micromanage or over-control something, and you're really trying to hang on and make something happen. But as you know, in waking life, the best way to make things happen, Jill, is often just to relax your grip a little bit, to trust yourself, and just let everything fall into place. So both these dreams are about trusting yourself and understanding that you've got lots of experience, you've got lots of wisdom, and rather than feeling maybe a bit insecure sometimes or feeling that you're a bit exposed, then just trust yourself and just maybe relax and let go of your grip a little bit. And as you do so, everything's going to fall into place for you.
That really makes sense, actually.
Oh, does it?
It
There
does,
you go.
yes.
Would you like to banish the dream, or because sometimes these dreams can be quite harrowing, and yet people do quite enjoy having them. We've come across that before, haven't we, Ian?
Yeah, sometimes, I don't know if you found this, Joe, but sometimes it's quite a comfort to have this sort of dream. It's like an old friend showing up or an old acquaintance. But as we were saying with Dave's dream, is that the dreams will evolve, and because we've discussed it and you've been kind enough to share your dream, Jill, then what will probably happen from this, it will go from being the 12th and the 7th to the 6th most common dream, and you might actually start to fly in your dream, which is all about just releasing yourself from maybe weighty responsibilities.
They're the best ones, Jill.
The flying ones.
They're the best ones, I
That
think.
really makes sense because sometimes I think I am trying to control myself too much. And
Yes.
and when I woke up, and although I was sort of, the panic as you wake, because I think I've fallen, but I haven't, but it doesn't worry me afterwards.
No, that's good. Jill, listen, thank you so much for sharing your dream.
No, thank you.
And I'm pleased that you're impressed with Ian. I'm always impressed with him. So thank you very much indeed.
Thank you to Ian and to Ian.
No,
Thank you.
Pleasure, Jill. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thanks, bye.
Ian, once again, you've been a superstar. Thank you so much for being here on a Friday night. And with your permission, we'll try and squeeze one more in before Christmas, if we may.
Yes, that would be a delight. I'd
Thank
love
you.
to do that, yes.
If people want to find out more about what you do, you have got your website, haven't you, there?
Yeah, so my website is ianwallacedreams.com, and there's heaps of information on there about dreams. There's about 400 or 500 pages of information about dreams, how to analyse dreams, dream meanings, and so on. There's my books that you've kindly mentioned, Dean, The Top 100 Dreams and the Complete A to Z of Dictionary of Dreams. And you can also follow me on Twitter at Ian Wallace.
All right, Ian, thank you so much. It's ianwallacedreams.com if you'd like to find out more. I really appreciate your time. Thank you, Ian.
Thank you, Dean.